You set up a time to meet prior to when we start. When you show up 3 minutes before you start,
I was here. I was trying to get this thing situated. It sucks.
I show up typically an hour before the show.
Yeah, tell the people why their time is invaluable. HVAC pod. I mean, wait a minute. You found the most entertaining HVAC podcast?
Informative.
Educational or entertaining?
Entertaining.
Entertaining? All right.
That's honest.
You just found the most entertaining HVAC podcast on the internet. Welcome to the HVAC Overtime Show, everybody. Is that Randy fucking Ravioli?
He did finally find the most entertaining show, and he came back.
What's up, Randy? I see you took a break from your OnlyFans page. I remember. I don't know if you guys ever saw Randy's OnlyFans page. It's just him in stirrups picking lint from underneath his ball sack.
It's really putting his pecker in the fans.
No.
Woo!
Slapping
Good old time.
We just lost 4 viewers with that right
there. Randy, what are you doing in there? Shut up, Mom. Make me some sour cream noodles, you bitch. What's up, Randy? What's up, everybody? Jesus Fish, Jason Johnson, Al Anonymous, Hambone.
That was not funny.
Guys.
Oh, man, dude. You way to make me feel uncomfortable and trying not to laugh. I was like conflicted there. I was very conflicted, dude.
But you know, if you take the cover off the fan and like put it on low speed and just like let your wiener thump on it, thump.
I've never thought about doing that in my life. So, no.
What's wrong with you guys? You guys don't know how to have a good time, do you?
Dude, where are we taking you back to somewhere in your childhood right now? Like, what are we digging deep?
Like boredom, like 12-year-old little Bill sitting in the room trying to figure out life.
This happens to me when I hear certain songs, dude. Music, I can hear a song and it can take me back, man. Take me to a place.
We were talking a bit about this before the show. Nostalgia. Let's get into that real quick. Nostalgia.
So for me, I was explaining to Bill that there's something about music. He came on and I was listening to some music before the show, and he was like making fun of me. Typical Bill, right? Because it's like some 80s synthwave music or whatever. But I was explaining to him that, like, I don't know, there's something about certain music or certain songs or whatever that'll take me back. It's nostalgic. I don't know if it's taking me back to a place that I wish I could be at, or like what the significance of it is.
I think there's a hole in your heart, and nostalgia is sort of like you're walking through that hole in your heart and you're finding what used to be there.
Maybe. I don't know, man. But yeah, music. It's freaking awesome, dude.
Oh, you were saying like it takes you, it's almost like a trip back in time where you can, at least when you're explaining it to me, you were explaining it in great detail, where you were, what was going on.
So there's this song. Yeah, there's this song that I could hear, or that is not a good song, right? It's actually, if you listen to the words, it's a horrible song, but it's by Crosby, Stills and Nash, and it's called Cathedral. It's just like a trippy song. But anyways, I can remember the first time I heard that. I can remember being in the car with my mom, who's since passed away. And it just takes me to a place where she was happy. And that was also at a time, like, this is going to get deep, but that was at a time when I had just found out she was a drug addict. And I found her one time, like, passed out.
Jason.
And so that song will take me to that place like that. Like, and all other songs do it too, in different ways. Exactly.
See, sorry, sorry to cut you off, guys, to change the topic, but you can keep on going before I change the topic.
All right,
let Bill say what he needed to say.
plan on it, Joe. We have a whole script written out
That's right.
of everything you're going to say, word for word, period per period. Anyway, that's how I get with like toys from my childhood, like 90s toys and stuff. I see it and I'm like, oh, I had that when I was a kid, and I get that hint of nostalgia, and then I buy it and I'm holding it in my hand, like right when it gets, I unbox it, I'm like just looking at it, I'm holding it, and I feel all warm and fuzzy, and I close my eyes for a little bit and I think back of just the few memories I may still have that I'm hanging on to from wherever that toy came from in my life. And then it kind of just fades away, and the weight of the world comes back on my shoulders, and then I just put it back in storage. It's kind of sad.
So I'm going to play something right now, because who gives a shit about monetization anyways? So I'm going to play something right now. By the way, our channel has been getting demonetized left and right because
for fucking everything.
Dude, like seriously, Bill, like I think he played a snippet of The Facts of Life by the Golden Girls one time or something like that, dude. And we're fucking getting knocked for that. And
yeah, they still tell us to knock it off.
Yeah, but well, they say basically they don't care. But anyways, I'm gonna play a song right now, and then I want you guys to, if anybody remembers where this takes them. Anytime I hear this song, it takes me to a specific movie, and that was a pivotal moment in my adolescence. So
this is from a movie?
Yes, but it's a song, right? So this will take me to a place. So hold on, share screen.
I got 2 songs after this you got to play, Chris.
All right,
we're gonna go down this.
This
no.
When you hear this right here, this
that's
right there.
It's not doing it for me.
So that doesn't take you to a place, right? No,
really, no,
dude. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the swimming pool scene.
That Rushmore High. That doesn't make any sense. Freon Leon.
Hey, what did I say? Rushmore, Ridgemont. Fast Times at Ridgemont.
You said it right. Freon Leon is.
No, but seriously, whenever that takes you to that swimming pool scene with Phoebe Cates, and you're like,
oh yeah, the dream sequence.
Yes, that's the song playing in the dream sequence. So that's exactly when I hear a song, it's like that. That's the best way I can describe it. That happens for like so many different songs for me. Music has always been that.
Rock hard.
How do you get to your nostalgic place?
Real quick before we get into that nostalgic place, we'll ask Joe how he gets in his nostalgic place. I'm sure it's real weird and creepy.
Yeah.
100%. You guys ever hear of Chris, you probably know this, Buffalo Springfield?
Yes.
You know that?
100%.
So there's only one song that I know by him. I don't even know the name of it, but it's like, hey, what's that sound or something, blah 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 blah. That song, like that is for me like number one song that takes me back to my childhood. I don't remember exactly where I was, but I love that song.
Hold on.
Dustin, cool. I'm sitting with my guys at Holbrook Park on the river, drinking a Miller Lite, smoking a Camel, no filter, and talking about boobs.
Is that what he's doing right now?
I think so.
This one right here, Bill?
That's a good song.
That is. Dude, I love that song. Like this takes me almost to like past life where I was a hippie and I'm just like sitting on a hill with my Volkswagen van.
Yeah.
Just high, just free. Like no weight of the world is on me.
Yep.
All
right, Joe. What gets you to your nostalgic place?
Well, I'm gonna brief. I say the same thing. Music brings you back for sure. But I was gonna change the subject because I had this call. I wasn't really paying attention too much because I had a call come in from a customer. Sorry.
Like just now, a call came in?
Yeah. She's texting. It's the third time she showed me the phase monitor. Phase monitor is going because it's obviously, I explained to her, it's actually saving the system because she had a phase loss from the main power from the hydro. And
from the hydro.
Like a fuse. A fuse is going out. This is going to be the third time now.
But
like every once a month.
Or like a fuse in the city, or where's this fuse?
Oh, and like a disconnect, a main disconnect.
Okay. Why is the fuse?
Sorry?
Why is the fuse going out?
That's why I want to know. Why is it going out? That's why I want to know. The phase monitor is doing what it has to do.
Mm-hmm.
I kept it in for a reason. It's doing what it has to do. But why does it keep on friggin' killing on one of the phases? So I'm going to call that provider, and it's funny that where they're located, that provider is a warehouse I service equipment. So
Electrical provider.
yes.
So this lady's getting electricity from a warehouse.
Well, I'm at like one of their yards. The transformers, they go out their trucks, huge yard,
Optimus Prime.
almost.
I don't even know what the
Anyways,
fuck you're talking
so-
about, dude.
I just started, so I can't get any connections to. But I just want to ask somebody, what's going on in this area? Why is it keep happening?
That's a good question. I
So-
mean,
So, well, I wasn't listening. I kind of got lost. But so basically, you have a place that's having a lot of electrical issues. The surge protector keeps
on
going
one
off.
leg though, just
Going off.
the same leg, right?
Okay.
I believe it's the same leg. It was the same.
They might
actually
have
no, it
something
wasn't
going on
the
with
same leg.
transformer, dude.
Sorry,
You might have something going on with the transformer. No.
like the main transformer outside.
Is it the main? Is everything having this problem, or just one specific component?
Good point. Just one sub panel component.
Okay. So where does that get its feed from? And investigate
to
the
look into
wiring
that.
from the main to the sub.
If it's a sub panel, then that sub panel should also have its own breaker for
Yeah.
that sub panel.
Right.
Should have a main. Yeah.
So is
Right.
that breaker tripping?
No, just
If not,
my
it's gotta
disconnect.
be something from the sub panel to that disconnect on the unit. Then
And when you say surge protector, do you have the ICM one that has the history?
Yes.
So it'll tell you high voltage, low voltage.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So one thing I'm going to tell you that I realized with my ICM very recently is you have to calibrate it. I didn't know that. So there's a calibration process where you with a true RMS meter that you test voltage, and then you compare the true RMS to what's your ICM, and you have to calibrate it. You have to adjust it to get it accurate. Mine was off by like 6 volts. So I kept going off on high voltage.
Okay, so wait a minute. Your ICM
493.
What
or
dials
something.
does it have? What
It's
dials
just got
does
like
it-
4 buttons.
Oh, okay. This has 3 dials. So just
Oh no, you don't have the fancy one.
No, this is the delay one, voltage peak, and it has something else on it. So
yep, you got it right, Brian.
no, I have the meter. I have true RMS meter and everything.
No, this is what I'm talking about, dude. Just a
Let me see if I could find the one
here.
picture.
Oh wait, no, not that one. Oh, that's just a phase monitor. No,
Phase
never mind.
monitor, the ICM phase monitor.
No, I'm talking about the surge protector that I have in my house.
Sub panel is feed for the main service panel. Someone Jonathan says. What phase monitor do you like? We use the ICM 493 single phase.
Yeah,
This is
that's
a
what I have.
three-phase.
That's what I'm talking about, Joe. The ICM
Okay.
493. And let
Oh,
me
is
put
this
it up right here.
Got it. I think I know what you're talking about. This is a 3-phase fucking. Hold on. Let me see.
You throwing a thermal camera on the sub panel or on the disconnect anywhere? See if you can see.
That's a
any
good idea.
hotspots.
I could do that. I could follow it back where it goes.
Yeah, through the wall.
Yeah. But anyways, you have options though too. Besides the ICM 493, they have a 3-phase one too that we'll use just to track problems. So you can just put it in there and come back a week later, and it'll show you the history.
Also, it's digital. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they have the 3-phase one too. So
Let me
no,
look.
those
What
are all
fuses?
people.
You know what? When he said this, the same one. Would have to look at my notes, but I don't think it was the same phase. Same.
But still
Same
having
thing.
that phase monitor that's calibrated, that's what I thought you were doing. But my ICM 493 for my house, I found that it wasn't calibrated. It kept going off on high voltage, and it was off by like 6 or 7 volts. So I had to calibrate it, and then I haven't had so many trips.
Is the wire gauge correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was working for years. Guy, like why? Yeah, the wire gauge is correct. Absolutely.
I don't think you need to go that complicated. Most of the time when you run
No.
into these problems, it ends up being something really silly, and you're like, for real, it's a bad lug, or it's a
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I'm thinking maybe the disconnect is bad. Like Bill said, I'm gonna put a thermal on the disconnect, the main disconnect. Maybe there's something going on in there.
I used my thermal imaging camera yesterday, a clear bad disconnect, but it wasn't I mean, it didn't look like it was bad. It was moving and everything was fine, but we
But it's
just kept
starting to
blowing a
get hot
fuse. What's that?
Starting to get hot spots.
Yeah. And gosh, I have a freaking clip of it too, because I filmed it. But yeah, like put the thermal camera up there, and line 1, dude, was freaking look like a damn light bulb. And I'm like, what the hell? And so then you
Wow.
like follow it back and you go look at the wire. It's very interesting too on a bad connection when you see it. How far the heat will go both ways on the wire too. So where the bad connection is, you can see it going back up on the line voltage side up like 2 inches. And I was like,
oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's conductive.
Yeah. And then it was like, wow. But then I checked it today after I replaced the disconnect after it ran, and it's like, oh yeah, no, much more consistent, even, you know.
I will. I'm gonna do that. And it's funny because I always carry it on me now, that thermal camera. And yes, electric. And because honestly, guys, why maybe we get paid more? Sorry, electricians, we get paid more than them. But a lot of electricians, unless you're like us, who kind of, and guys in chat that really want to dive deep, electricians won't know. I'm sorry to say, they won't. They don't.
Yep.
It's gonna change stuff.
We know more than the electricians a lot of times. Honestly,
Change the disconnect.
that's how it seems to me, anyways. But the ones that really take their job serious and dive a little bit more to the top, sure, maybe they'll. But or else, like, no electrician's gonna have a thermal camera. Come on.
So
I never see none.
Silly question, but what is it? Because you know how we always make the joke that electricians always leave messes, they never clean up after themselves, right? That's just like a joke in the industry, some true, some not. But what is it that people say about our industry?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, what are the stereotypes of our industry?
What are the stereotypes of let's not just say air conditioning, let's say refrigeration and air conditioning guy. Like, what's the stereotype?
Fat and grumpy.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me see this for a second. I had fuses blowing out the equipment disconnect that was caused by a loose neutral at the main feed. The voltage imbalance rise till a surge suppressors and unit was shut down. I did check the voltage imbalance the first time and it was fine. That's the only thing that's tripped me out too. The voltage is fine. There's no imbalance. I'm in the percentage.
Checked it.
Fuck.
How do you what, Bill?
It was fine when you checked it.
Oh yeah.
The first time, yeah, but it was a while back. I'll check it again.
Those depending on which voltage surge monitor, whatever you get for 3-phase, they will tell you voltage imbalance. They will shut it off on voltage imbalance. They will do all that stuff. So
there's a dial too, and unfortunately, a lot of guys, it's going off. Let's just crank the dial. It's good to go. But you know, that's not really what I
don't
want to do.
Rack refrigeration, but that's what they say people do with oil safeties all the time. It wasn't working. Reset the oil safety. And it's like, then they don't fix it. And it's like, what are you thinking, you idiot? That's like the one thing that shouldn't be resettable.
It's a hard reset, for a reason. What's this?
Sure.
HVAC has violations and concerns from a home inspector. What do you mean, Kaden?
I think you might be referring to another thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's in the wrong chat.
No, he says has violations and concerns from a home inspector. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? So,
I agree, Michael.
Good point. Very good point, Mike or Michael. Yeah.
It's true. It's the ones that are higher up that will actually give you the time. But the resi guys or the guys who get their they get their masters to get run a business. That's how it works.
Well, another thing too, and I don't know if this directly applies to electricians, but for us, I think we work on such a wide range of stuff. Like for them, I know it's not always just running wire and doing the, but it's sort of always the same thing. At least that's the way I see it.
And the point that you're making, to that point, everybody has good and bad things about their career. But so through the grapevine, I heard a rumor that one of the biggest issues right now that they're having with heat pump water heaters is who installs them, because they have refrigeration in them. So the plumber has to install them in some places, but the plumber's not EPA certified, so he can't work on them, right? The point that I'm trying to make is that in HVAC, literally, I was being an electrician today. I was being a plumber today. I was being all this different stuff, right? I'm redoing electrical feeds. I'm properly supporting electrical boxes. I'm, conduit, all that stuff. I'll do that, right? I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. It's just we have to dabble so much in so many different parts.
Yeah, I think that's one of the clear distinctions between us and.
But to Housh's point, though, again, we're not doing industrial electrical work. We're not over here freaking that heavy duty stuff. That's its own specialty. But we have to dabble in the
But even like the industrial guys, like I would venture to say like they probably do the same stuff all the time. It's so similar, like the industrial stuff. I'm guessing. Again, I could be way off. I'm not an electrician.
I think that you're probably wrong about that. I would think that the industrial guys are getting to do some interesting stuff.
I mean, I feel like the equipment's probably interesting, but they're not really working on the equipment. They're running power to the equipment.
Yeah, but in today's day and age, do you not think that they're having to, solve for a lot of voltage imbalance issues with inverter based equipment? Like these guys are really having to get in there, and I would imagine that they're running into problems because we run into communication problems with our equipment. Imagine the big heavy duty stuff. Like, I don't know. I just think that the industrial guys really probably do have a lot going on.
And seeing part of Bill and what you guys are saying, because I met a few electricians there or whatever, and the interesting stuff I would want to do if I was an electrician, or like this big sub panel rooms, Siemens transform, all these like huge control stuff, like big stuff, like switch box, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
But when I talk to an electrician, I was talking to a couple of them, they're like, they'll come in the company of that Edens or where the fuck the company is. They'll come in and do it. Well, what are you doing? You're the licensed guy as well. So like, unless you gotta be part of that company to work on that stuff. So
and that's exactly what they do. They do like all our controls and all our electrical stuff.
Yeah. And Hausch is making a point that the industrial guys are keeping factories running, fixing machinery. That's right, because they are doing, they will call them electricians, but they're doing mechanical work too on the machinery and stuff. And
a lot of times, electrician goes in hand in hand sometimes with millwrights or machinery like that.
So those guys, I always call those guys like facility engineers. Like that's how we.
That's a different ballgame. They're
well, I mean, no, like those guys are the guys who like fix the machines in the factories. Will subcontract us to come out and like help them do some of the stuff.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
They seem to wear like, I don't know, like the one guy was an engineer. I don't know if I've ever met any electricians that are like doing all that though, but I see what you're saying.
So I used to work for a hospital. We're talking like 15 years ago. Used to do work for a hospital chain. It was a Kaiser hospital actually. And it was weird because I only worked for that one hospital. I didn't work for, it wasn't like a big chain. Like they were independent of each other, but their engineers were basically supervisors. They basically had to be the face of the hospital. So they would subcontract everything out and they would be the ones changing batteries, even though that they're HVAC guys and ice machine guys and all these different things. They would rather have them in front of the patients fixing stuff than having us. So we would be behind the scenes fixing everything, dude. Dude, they would send me a PM list for the ice machines and there would literally be 37 ice machines because there's these ones on every floor and they want them all PM'd in 30 days. I'm like, the fuck? Like, get out of here.
It covers their ass too, even over here.
But anyway, the point that I'm making is every place is going to be different. Those guys, they basically didn't get to do anything big, and just had to sub it out. But
when RJ Parker, when you say industrial logic and controls are not electrician, I know controls are not electrician for sure, but industrial logic, what do you mean by that? Like I'm talking about like switch boxes and stuff like that. Like
that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about like full on controls for HVAC.
Oh yeah, that's another interesting like little area that we're kind of hand in hand to, but there's also a dedicated communication side
seems fun. Because I'm getting to a point where I really should start thinking about finding a way to navigate into something that's less damaging to my body. And controls has always been like in the back of my mind of like, maybe that is something that's.
Well, we know Will Speed is huge.
Yeah.
Well, Jason's pretty good. And a lot of HVAC guys here, licensed refrigeration mechanics here, a lot of them do that area too. They don't like to do the service, and sometimes they don't want to do the service, so they go to the communication side. It's the same pay. They're making good money. So I think it's a good gig.
Smaller components are smaller.
Dude, some of the stuff that Will Speed gets to work on sometimes is freaking that dude's doing so much like heavy stuff, and it's like, holy crap, bro.
He talks about stuff that I think is from the future.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Skynet stuff.
We haven't talked to Will in a long time. Last time I saw him was at AHR last year.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in the chat yet tonight. Hopefully
he's been busy. He comes into mine every once in a while, but I don't really get to talk because I'm doing the live stream and he'll just come in and mod
Dude, I haven't been in one of your live streams in months, it seems. I feel so bad sometimes.
But dude, you know how many live streams I've skipped in the last couple of months? Dude,
True.
I've been slacking. I've just been tired, man. Work has been my refrigeration company has required more of me, like consistently month by month as this year. It's just getting exhausting how much effort I've had to put in.
Life is burning us out slowly. That's honestly, that's why we haven't even had consistent shows for the last 2-3 months now.
All of us are going through crap for sure.
Like,
so
dude, my kid keeps me up and just trying to be 50-50 with all the kids and the household stuff with my wife, who's a stay-at-home mom, and she's getting stressed out. Like, it's just this big thing. And on top of that, we got work, and like, Chris, you're a business owner, you're constantly under pressure, and you still got the whole family life at home. And Joe, I mean,
we know nothing about Joe, so I don't know what he's going through.
You gotta make sure those bodies stay hidden in your crawl space, I guess. I don't know what you do.
I'm wondering, like, do your connections and stuff, you've been hanging out with P. Diddy lately and stuff, or what? Did you used to work on one of his mansions, bro?
I'm not on his list. I'm not one of his
Wouldn't that be epic if Joe was like in the background of one of those, just like kind of like bobbing around in the background a little bit?
Oh my god.
Joe may or may not have worked in some vicinities of super fancy rich people that are very famous. So
Joe's in Chicago.
Who's the person you've been in? Like, whose house? The most famous person's house you've been in, Joe?
You don't work for that company anymore.
I can't. I don't work for that company anymore. I would say
right.
Conward. I'm not gonna say it.
Conward. Well, what fun is that if we don't know who it is? If it's a famous person, what do you got? What do you got? Find you?
He was big.
I don't even know who you're talking about, bro.
Conward.
Conward Black.
No idea.
No idea. Never heard of it. Okay, so move on down the list until we know someone.
No, I'm not going to start it. No way. No, because some of them are still my side clients.
Oh, got it.
I'm actually doing I'm actually just calling me the maintenance guy. He wants me to do.
Say my name.
He wants me to do his furnaces startup for the winter and boilers. So I got him still with me. So
that'd be so cool to have like a superstar side gig, like Bob Seger. He's from Michigan, of course, and he still lives in Michigan somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but like, that'd be cool just to like fucking not necessarily even hang out with him. Just like, hey, my shit's broken. Come fix it.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, no, you know what? This new gig's been draining me a little bit. Only reason why is because I think they have me and this other senior guy, an older guy, and they're slowly piling like the responsibility. I mean, like being the lead guy. I mean, like watching what the other guys are doing.
Is that old guy ready to retire?
He wants to go a little bit. He wants to go on kind of management kind of thing because he's slowing down. He's a little old. But they're putting me as that lead kind of position. They're kind of doing that without like, like, oh yeah, see what they're doing, blah blah blah. And they also have me checking all the other things that nobody else is fucking figured out. And guess what I'm coming across and what I'm trying to fix a lot of the main issues are the economizers and stupid alarms that have to do with economizers. Like I have this one, Chris, it's a huge LGH Lennox, like 600, like 50 tons. And they keep on getting this nuisance alarm. And I heard over the grapevine, they call this machine trouble or something like that. And I'm like, okay. So I finally started maintaining this location and trying to get to the issues. They have like fucking 12 units. It's almost the same, but at different tonnage. So the latest one I got was excessive, and it only happens sometimes, excessive air. I think it's 151 or something like that. 147. There's a couple excessive air when it's economizing when it's not supposed to, or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Wasting energy, right?
Yeah.
So, sorry?
Excessive air. That's the code.
Not excessive air. You're wasting excessive. Yeah, maybe excessive air. You're wasting energy. It's open when it's not supposed to. So I go there. I look at all my parameters, like just the regular in the logic parameters, and they all look pretty good. But then it happens again. So I went back there. I'm going, you know what? Let me fucking put this down. I don't care the temp. Let me put this down, put it in a test, and see if the damper's moving. So it has one of those, what are they called? Those dampers, interlink actuators, right?
Yeah, that's their brand. That's their house brand.
That brand, right? So I'm doing the test, and you could tell it's kind of binding. I'm looking at the voltage, it's sending the 10 millivolts, and it's doing what it has to do, but it's kind of delayed, and it's kind of binding. It's not going 100%, and it wasn't right there. You could hear the binding, but anyway, so I'm going to change the control. But also, what I realize is none of the like main controls are bad, but it's a parameter. I realized after reading the manual, I think it's something in parameter that it's saying when it goes in like second stage, it fucking opens my damper. I look at the damper and my economizer damper is open.
Yeah.
So I got Y2 coming on. The fucking damper is wide open.
Right.
So just
It
shooting.
opens.
Yeah. So
It hooked up right because it could be something where it's
I
except
think he got flip flopped. Yeah.
Y2 is instead of Y1.
Yeah.
could be.
I'll
'Cause
say
why-
another,
I don't
this
know.
would not be your problem, but one of the most notorious issues that Linux has on their units is the economizer sensor wiring
That-
and the actuator wiring rotting out. So corrosion just kills them because of the location. And so you'll get these weird nuisance problems. I don't think that's what you're having here, but you'll get these weird nuisance ones where, and it's just, you pull the connections apart and you realize they're completely corroded inside. those.
Corroded.
Always, dude, on the Linux units.
Well, you know what? I told them because things still original. First, before I go any further, I want to change the actuator. Get
Yeah.
that thing out of there. I don't care.
Yeah,
And
100%.
then we
Go
can,
for
you
it.
know what I mean? And
Yeah.
start going from that, and I could go into parameters because I didn't really ever mess with the parameters. Like I mean, like like parameter
Are
whatever.
you,
it
are
is,
you near the ocean where you're at?
No.
No. So okay, yeah. If you're not near the ocean, because that'll
Like,
get
I mean, that's salt
Putting
water.
test. Yeah, I know, but listen, we get salt and it's in the air, whatever, right? It's all
Yeah.
seasons.
true.
But I
That's-
realize, guys, what the guys are doing is just putting in tests, seeing what the actual damper position at, blah blah blah, and that's it. Oh yeah, it's working. Well, it's not just working like that. You have to like get deeper. and-
So you want to know a funny trick? So there's a particular Linux unit. It's with when they went to the Prodigy controllers. So
Yes.
on the what's up? How did Dustin get?
I don't know how you get there, but hey, you did.
What's up,
What's up,
dude?
Dustin? How are you?
I just wanted to join in.
You're good. But finish that thought, Chris.
That's
This has to
awesome.
do with the Prodigy. Go ahead. I want to hear.
Oh, with the Prodigy things. So on the Prodigy units, one of the cool ways to like change the parameters of the unit on the older than Prodigy units, you had to go into the ecto parameters, and it was a pain in the butt because it was all decimals and crap that you had to do. But on the
I know.
Prodigy units, what you can do is you can reprogram the board. It's so easy to change whole system-wide settings on the unit because you can change what the board thinks the unit is. So you just go into the board and you say, I don't want an economizer. Boom. It deletes the economizer from the thing. You can get it operating just by changing a parameter.
The Prodigy.
Yeah, on the Prodigy.
Prodigy M3 does that. I've done it.
So for
Yes.
instance, like I have at one of my restaurants, we don't want them to be economizers that look at humidity or anything, right? And we don't want them to be variable at all. We actually just want them to be minimum outside air dampers for
And that's
balance reasons. So I just go in and reprogram the unit and it just reprograms everything. And all I do is literally change a decimal or a letter on the model number
Yeah.
in
That's what
the thing.
That's what this does too. The same thing. You have to.
Yeah.
It's in the serial number. The NNT.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck it is.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
so easy. That's one thing
Yeah.
I really like about the Linux is you
Yeah.
can easily just like boom, change that, and then damn, it's minimum outside air damper. Now it ignores
And-
everything.
You're right. And actually, I used the tool I got. I don't know if I told you guys. I was telling the guys in chat last time. I got that resistor tool, like the J box,
Uh-huh.
and actually used it on the R17, the return sensor, to mimic cold. And it actually worked. It was pretty cool. It's in the manual how much the resistance is for whatever certain, and it worked, which is cool. That's good to cool little tool I have. But now it's even something before or after that, and I just realized what's
Man, I
happening.
remember those old Honeywells. It was taking a 9-volt
What is
battery.
going on over here, dude?
Influence those.
9-volt batteries
Look at
for which
The
one?
old Honeywell, the big black boxes.
Why
Oh,
does
okay.
Dustin have a sword?
Why wouldn't he have a sword?
Call me a musketeer.
There you go. Okay. That's
Thanks, Mike. Champanco. For Joel's ticket to
the
50
question,
points.
Joe. Are you going to the symposium?
You guys know the situation. I'm waiting.
We're giving
Anyway.
you shit, bro. So what's up, Dustin?
What's up, Dustin?
Is this your house?
Oh,
Yeah.
there was just three of you on
Mhm.
the screen, and it just looked wrong.
There we go. That's
You need
perfect.
to move your fireplace over. Your fireplace isn't. It's
Well,
not
that's
lined
because
up.
I had to open the fireplace to get the sword. Now you know where my secret sword spot is.
Wait. You just moved your fireplace? I didn't. Oh, that's why you covered your.
Oh, he covered it. I love those hidden things.
That's awesome.
Does it come out? Does it
Is it on wheels?
slide? That's awesome.
What else is
dude.
back?
That's awesome.
That's
Is that where
pretty
you hide your drugs?
Mhm. We're not allowed to talk about that.
no.
Everybody knows Joe worked for the CIA.
So now that you're here, though,
Let's change
dude,
that.
I've been seeing you have getting awards. We want to know what the fuck you've been up to because you're killing it.
Is it just me or is his internet lagging?
No.
Glitching a little bit. It's okay.
Hold on, let's do this.
Hold on.
Probably the fucking kids.
Dude lives in a house like that, but he's got the internet of a wet potato.
You of all people.
I know, right?
Even with fucked up internet, Dustin, that came through at the perfect time.
Dude, I got like, it's so depressing how awesome my internet is and how disappointing it is at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I can download Avril Lavigne songs fucking like that, bro. Like, can I get 7 sentences in a row out without going, no?
Nope.
Fucking
It's weird, man. I don't get it. I would be very frustrated if I didn't have fast internet. That literally did drive me nuts until I got it finally figured out. So
What's up, Minky Moo too? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Internet is crap free on Leon.
maybe
No.
you should get Starlink.
Now that
So-
Dustin Cole is here, I had a little talking point that I wrote down that I kind of talked to you guys about, you guys in the super secret chat backstage.
Yep.
Mhm.
But with Mr. Cole being here, I think this would be a good subject for him because he's sort of one of the people I imagine when I reference this. I mean, I imagine him when I reference other things too,
Oh,
but
shit.
specifically this,
Okay.
like the Dustin Cole sheets that I have in my bed.
Whenever you're like bathing.
I don't
I
think
mean, when I'm washing.
Oh yes.
that's awkward.
Anywho,
That's awkward.
So,
So now tell us what you led up to. What were you going to say?
yeah. What does being smart mean to you?
Damn, that's deep.
What does it mean to you? Like, and I'll
To me?
good question.
quickly let me tell you, like, kind of what this comes from. So all of my life, I have always tried to be like a human encyclopedia because, in my opinion, that's what smart was. Is somebody who can retain tons of information, useless or not, albeit they can just reference it. They roll their eyes back in their head and they just vomit out words that mean stuff to whatever subject matter that they're speaking about at the moment. That's what I always thought being smart was. But as I've aged and realized that I cannot be a human encyclopedia without burning down my family's relationships with my family in order to study consistently all the time, night and day, I can't do that. I just can't. So that's sort of led me to re-identify what I think being smart is. And it got me thinking, like, what do you guys think being smart is? I think it's somebody who can find the resources, almost like they're just simply motivated to find resources, mixed in with a little bit of experience, common sense, openness, open-mindedness. It's like a combination of things. What do you guys think?
What do you got, Dustin?
Somebody with
Well,
good internet.
so
That's a
to be honest, I was listening, but I'm also closing the 236 tabs I had open on my computer.
That's fine.
I've
Well, you know
never
what?
been a very smart guy.
Well, I mean, that's obviously horse shit.
No, like growing up in school, I primarily was the guy who just got by. Graduated bottom of my class, all that fun stuff. So I don't know what it's like being the smart guy. But I do know what it's like being the guy driven to know more. Whenever I'm presented with a problem, I just overdo it. And
Now,
like you're saying, there's a work-life balance issue.
So
Does
who's
fear
the
drive you though? Does fear drive you?
Yeah. I mean, the fear
Yeah.
of failing, letting others down primarily.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
it's
who's the smart person you look up to?
smart person I look up to, and I'll
Yes,
tell you, like
maybe
Houch, he's
nice.
the most brilliant idiot I know.
I would agree. Nice. I mean, he's got the whole
Uh,
chiseled abs, smokes like a rebel, smart,
mhm.
stunning good looks. I could go
You know,
on,
it's oh, there it is. No, I don't know. Anyways,
but I think we're already all
What
right.
about you, Joe?
So let's not.
you know, I said a comment once when he was saying it in chat, and now I can't remember what I said, but I liked what I said. What was it, Bill? Do you remember what my answer was to that?
What was that word salad of nonsensical babble? I like what I
He
said.
basically said
I don't
he
remember.
forgot what he said, but he knows that he likes what he said, but he can't remember what it was. That's what he just said.
I know, like, give me a time frame. Like, was this today? Was this last?
No, you said this in our chat the first time, and I responded you with something.
That
and
was
I
like a
kinda-
month ago, Joe.
I know, and I remember I liked it, but now I can't remember what it was. Shit.
Joe blows my mind. And Joe is a super smart guy. Like, that's one of the things I referenced in the chat. Joe is a smart guy because I ask Joe stuff and he rattles off nonsense and it's like just stuff over my head too.
So
I think.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. We're all smart. We're all smart, and we're all. Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever we are, I think that smart to me today is someone that
You nailed it.
what'd she say? Oh, stoners. Yeah, maybe. But to me, it's someone that knows how to find the answers, that is driven though at the same time, you know, by, like, for me, I'm driven by fear of not wanting to let a customer down again, fear of losing a customer again. Like, I'm driven by that fear. It's probably not healthy, but I am. So that's what makes me want to dig into things. Is just, I don't want to be, I'm
gonna change the subject randomly because this just popped up in my head again.
Okay.
So
Right.
I was scrolling through some of Chris's comments from his last video, and I do this from time to time. I scroll through his comments and I read them all. And it was from his really nasty video. This is working on a low boy in a kitchen. He laid some cardboard down after he cleaned the sinks. It was just a mess. And one of the comments was, "Cardboard is your friend." And I kid you not, Chris wrote this back to this person. And he said, "I have a cardboard cutout of my friend Curious HVACguy, and sometimes I lay on top of it." That was it. I was like, that is the sweetest thing anybody's ever said to me in a random chat that I just happened to find.
So, yeah. And the funny thing is, look at that. I'm like a Bill super fan. The funny thing is that Bill actually goes through my comments more than I do these days.
That's true.
So I don't even see these comments. So if that says anything, it you get it.
It was definitely you that wrote that one, though.
Oh yeah, definitely me that wrote that. 100%.
Super gay.
Going to, I thought about the fear thing. To the new position I'm at with this company, that's one of the things that's driving me as well, and disappointment, because they're looking at me to solve these problems, but like, if I can't solve them, what are they gonna do? I'm fucked. I look like, oh my god, this guy.
That's an exciting kind of fear, though, because you're like,
it's hard, dude.
It
a lot of
stops with
pressure.
you, or it stops. You have to fix it. Like, it doesn't go anywhere else.
Right.
See, but that's a lot of weight to carry, man. Being the only source in a company, that's what like drives me to want to get others around me, not just even in my organization, but at other companies locally and nationally, wherever, I don't care, better. Because when everybody just stops and turns to you, you get just buckled down with all the weight of the world. All their problems become yours.
Yeah.
And that's a tough spot to be in. But I'd like to circle back. Where do you, and is it available on the website? Where does somebody get a cardboard cutout of Bill?
Oh, it's a website.
I don't find it's fair that only Chris gets to lay on you.
My OnlyFans page.
We probably need to research this wet dream over here and maybe figure out how to get a cardboard cutout of Bill.
Like a little teapot. That's how I stand. When I'm frustrated at things and I'm thinking, I like do my little teapot stance.
So I don't think I told you guys this, but I was in Best Buy, Home Depot the other day, right? And it's Halloween in Home Depot, and actually Christmas in some of them too. But it's fucking nuts. But anyways, I go into Home Depot and they have skeletons out, and it reminds me there was this one year that I out of nowhere just decided to buy these full-size skeletons that move and you can pose and whatever. Stupid money, right? And then I put them in my daughter's bedrooms. It scared the shit out of them, right? So I was in Home Depot recently and it reminded me of that. There's like a giant one now. And I said to the apprentice that's with me, I was like, dude, I need to get one of these big ones so I can scare the shit out of my daughter. And this lady overheard me and she goes, scare your daughter? And I go, oh yeah. And I looked at her with such excitement and I was like, oh yeah, I'll scare the crap out of her by hiding these things. And she was so disgusted.
Oh
like she was
wow.
She was disgusted in me. And I was like, I was having a blast. Like, oh yeah, it's freaking awesome. I'm gonna scare the shit out of my daughters. Yeah. That was funny.
Like a typical Karen,
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, people suck.
Yeah, people do suck sometimes. Hey, getting back to something you mentioned, Joe, speaking of people that suck, let's talk about that leadership thing. So you're in this new company, you're sort of kind of navigating into a leadership role, eh?
Yes, but the thing is, I'm seeing equipment that I don't have so much experience on. So at the same time, I'm doing that leadership. I'm in there trying to dissect these things.
That's what I think
it's
is
hard, bro.
New stuff.
Yes,
I was gonna say before you brought that up, Bill, that Joe's one day is working on a giant industrial walk-in cooler, and then the next day he's working on this industrial package unit, and he's working on this boiler and like all this different stuff, and it's like, wow. You went from like being in one specific thing to having to really open your mind and crap. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's cool. But do you have do you have like a crew under you, like guys besides the old guy that you're kind of working with right now? Is there?
Yeah. So it's the old guy and me. So the old guy is old and he's typical, he's good on the refrigeration side, but he's not good with doing this dissecting of like these big rooftop units. Like I'm having problems with all economizers and all that. He doesn't want to get into that. You know how they are. I just fucking plug it, whatever. He doesn't want to get into that. But for refrigeration stuff, he's good. I could tell he's good. Like it's just like he's out of school or whatever. But other, like we have our advantages, disadvantages. But yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of us underneath me. Oh, why don't you go check on them? Make sure they're doing their PM right. Are they doing this or doing that? And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine, all right. You have
to like go to the guys, whoever was doing it, and be like, listen, you guys fucked this up. You're so stupid.
I try to just remind them because they're complacent or they just don't care. Like just by even just bringing a grease gun, I already care. I don't care. I tell them straight up, like greasing, and we're charging for a PM. Grease the fucking thing, or filters, old filters, leaving boxes. Like we got these 50 boxes, like huge warehouses with like 50 Lennox. You're leaving fucking boxes in the middle, like in the mechanical room where the fire pump is, whatever. Clean that shit up. They were doing a PM. Oh, go check on them doing a PM. I don't give a fuck. I go there, check in, and I see a couple. Aeon units. By the way, I'm going to Aeon training next. 2 weeks?
Nice.
We got Aeon units. Nobody knows how to work on them. But anyways, and we go to that shop, and there's like pumps everywhere, like motors, and we servicing this shit. And we're seeing motors on the roof, dude. I can't stand seeing fucking parts on the roof. Excuse my language. I can't see like inducer motors, motors. So yeah,
there's got to be something to this because I get a little satisfaction out of these kind of jobs, right? In the end, like when you're in the beginning of it, you get kind of frustrated because you're cleaning up a bunch of people's messes. But dude, you learn so much when you go through those moments. Like I can kind of put myself in a place where I took over a new customer that the previous contractor was a dumpster fire, and it was like seriously, it's been really complicated, like backwards figuring out all the shit that has been done to this equipment. And while you get frustrated at first, like now that I'm through that point, I'm kind of getting bored because I'm not being challenged like that. So I envy you for what you're going through right now, Joe. Because
it's both frustrating and exciting. Like I'm
Joe, is it like a service manager / support, or
the service manager lady calls me like that's a good question. Calls me like I'm her right hand man now. Like, oh, I have a good time, smiling, talking. She's like anything I want, she'll get. Like I asked like, oh yeah, do you want a new truck? Like, what do you want? Like it's a very good relationship like that. But
are you fucking her?
She's old. Sorry?
Oh, you heard
100% he is, dude.
I mean, she's older, but like how old are we talking?
Oh, dude. Jeez.
Well, the show ain't gonna make it past the point that we hit in stream anyways because of all the music that I played earlier. They're literally gonna take this video down anyway, so it doesn't matter.
True.
It's
So,
literally not gonna be.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that we would have done.
It's fun. A lot of pressure. I don't mind the pressure.
In the
Figuring
base.
out these units that, like, remember that unit, that Lennox unit? 44 man hours were on this one unit. Remember, I was calling you for reference. I just wanted to hear your voice, Chris, or message you,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck I did. And then I came down to it. Fucking TXVs were all switched. I couldn't believe it. Like, that was my
Calls were switched. Yeah.
that was huge.
Minky
Huge.
Mutu has a great question there, Bill.
See all these storage totes behind me?
Somebody's been shopping at Lowe's.
That's no, actually, Sam's Club. They're probably like $6 at Sam's Club.
Yeah, I got a crap ton
Love
from
those things,
Costco.
dude.
Yeah.
I got probably 30 of those throughout my house, but that's where all of my toys are now because I did have to move to the basement since, you know, my wife had a baby.
Yeah.
You know,
Just her alone.
so
Shame on her.
my office is now the baby. My cool office that I had painted like 90s colors, like super awesome. I had everything set up and like, oh,
Yeah, but
dude.
you got such a head start with the toys.
Yeah, but now they're on totes, and I can't put shelves up down here and like display them because
No,
like other
they're
kids
not your
are
toys anymore.
and like the cousins come around. No, those are not coming out of those totes until these kids are like old enough to know not to touch them.
Is it your baby?
I mean, it is. Do I want it? Yes, I did.
So,
It's 100% mine. Like it looks exactly like me. It's all
and
it's got like big
honestly, too, this like they literally, you guys have been wanting this for a long time. So it's just
true. Yeah.
Bill talked about this for a long time.
I joke, but there was a point where the doctor was like, "Man, you guys are just infertile. You guys
I
ain't gonna
remember
make nothing happen." We're like, "Well, I guess we'll just have to accept it." And that was like 7 years ago. The doctor told us we were infertile, and like I've just been rocking it, you know, raw dogging it for the last 7 years, not paying it no mind. And then one day I come home from work and the wife's like, "Oh, I don't feel good. I don't feel good." I'm like, "Well, maybe you should learn to cook better. I mean, that's why I don't feel good." And I came home one day and there's these little tiny baby shoes and a positive pregnancy test on my desk. I'm like, holy shit.
Did you get mad at her because she put piss on your desk?
No.
Oh, I can imagine Bill getting pissed. Fucking goddamn, put that shit on my desk and throw it across the room.
At first I thought it was a thermometer. I'm like, this is tiny. Like, I'm not sick. Why is this in my mouth?
Yeah, it tastes funny.
So I posted the other day because I was climbing in an attic of a restaurant that was built in the 80s. Perfectly good. Freaking
Oh, that's where you
Life
found
can in Milwaukee's
That's
best
awesome.
can.
Nice.
And the apprentice that's with me, I was like, he wasn't up in the attic with me because it was like a tongue and groove ceiling. So those are really complicated
reminds
to
me,
crawl
Chris.
in. What's that? Oh, but anyways, he was all amazed with them. And so I let him kind of get up there and look and see. He's like, "What is that?" And I said, "Look to your left." And he looks over, he goes, "Oh, there's a big dead rat right there." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the other thing that's up here." But I was surprised though, these don't have because these were from like 86. So they don't have pull tabs on them, I thought. But I guess that's right about when the pop tops probably started.
Mhm.
So I was at a JC Penney a while back installing some crap up in the ceiling. I found 2 of these. I mean, they're not super
Is it
old.
Penny catalogs?
Yeah, this one's, I mean, it's only 2004. It's still 20 years old. I was hoping for something from the 90s, but like,
Yeah.
dude, like those
Dude,
kids are like 30.
Did our grandparents, they used to have us come over when they would send out the Christmas catalog, and they would have us come over and circle the Christmas catalog, and then we'd just leave them with the ammo, and they would get us one of the things.
Cowboy butts drive me nuts.
We would just like fight over getting that catalog.
Yep.
Look at, they got the women's pajama
And
section.
yeah, figure also like we had like 5 channels too on TV, so it's not like there was a lot of commercials to see toys.
Oh, you remember that, Chris?
Oh, what? Yeah, I remember those bathroom breaks.
Yep.
Man.
100%.
I forgot this was in here.
Yeah.
Put a post-it note on that page.
That was, yeah, that's crazy.
I was
Joe's service manager.
Yeah, right.
Look at this is where all the Chick-fil-A managers.
It
by
is
the
20
post.
years ago, Joe.
Dude, I could see people wearing that today, though. I feel like that crap's coming back, whatever that is.
Yeah, everything does a cycle, eh?
Toys,
My
man.
little girl, you would swear that she grew up in the 90s. I mean, like everything she wears, her attitude.
Yeah.
It's definitely like witnessing my sister grow up type deal.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy hell.
my youngest is turning 15 next Wednesday. Freaking mind blowing, dude. My oldest just turned 18, but
Yeah, off to college.
dude, yeah, and that whole experience right now with her. So she's doing community college right now, and because that's what we told her from the beginning. I was like, I can't pay for you to go to like some big university, but get scholarships, or I said I will pay for community. Like I'll pay for that, and you can stay at home and all that. And so that's what she's doing right now. But still, it's a trip, dude, to have your 18-year-old call you one day and just say, hey, my girlfriend and I are going to go to the baseball game. And I was like, cool, right on. Sounds fun. And then an hour later, she goes, yeah, we got done with the game. We're going to go to a concert now. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. Like, and I'm trying not to be a dick because I mean, she wasn't being a jerk about it, but I was like, okay, I guess I got to let you do that stuff now. So she like went to a concert, came home at 2 a.m. and I'm like,
Man, you know, like my 10-year-old right now, she's getting to that age where her friends are like starting to have like sleepovers and like play dates and stuff. And like, she's like, can I have a sleepover with so-and-so? I'm like, I just like,
dude, those are so hard these days,
I
man.
feel so bad because I used to do that all the time when I was a kid. Like it was great having sleepovers and stuff. But nowadays,
I wasn't allowed.
My son's got friends over right now.
Well,
I have no idea where they're at.
Yeah, we would do it when I was younger. We had it with, and what we did with our kids too is we would do it within our friend circle, right? We have a good family friend circle of 6 different families, and then from within those, but even still, we're always on guard,
Seeing like I don't know any of her friends' families. Like I don't know their parents that well. I met
you
like
need to know them. Yeah,
you gotta start going to dance, gym, and baseball and basketball.
It's weird though. Like I'll go to these things and like I'm trying to, and I'm not usually this guy, but when I go to these events, I try to be more outspoken, not such an introvert.
Yeah,
and like try to talk to these dads and stuff. But they're like nobody's really like chitty chatty. Like nobody's like saying like
Maybe. Let me ask you a question. Do you wear your sunglasses when you're talking to them?
No,
dude. It's your piercing eyeballs, dude. You're like daggers. You're scaring them, man. You're like Cyclops, bro. You got to put your glasses on, and then they'll chill out, and they'll be like, all right, cool.
I'd be like, hey guys, you guys ever like forget to trim your fingernails before you put a pin in your butt? And like, it kind of pinches a little bit.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, I got the same problem. Like I go to these things and they're like, oh, what are you into? I'm like, well, I sit around my house on like Friday nights. I just watch a screen. I talk to a bunch of HVAC nerds. And then when I get done, I think about trying to solve problems. And then I fall asleep and get bored and just randomly, play with lightsabers and shit.
Yep.
I'm a nerd.
Normal stuff.
I think we all are in our own ways, 100%.
See, there's not a lot of people like that in my community, let alone like the dads. And it was funny. I would almost call this a man crush. So I take my daughter to the roller rink like once or twice a week. We go to the roller rink. I used to roller skate with her till I fell once, and I'm like, I can't do that because I could seriously get hurt. But I go there, and there's this dude. He's always there. He's super good at roller skating, but he's like this kind of nerdy, like bro kind of dude, but he's just whipping around the rink, just having the time of his life. So relaxed. He's got long hair. It's in a ponytail, and he's just like carefree. And his daughter's there, and my daughter kind of talked to his daughter. I'm like, dude, like, I want to meet that guy. Like, I want to talk to that dude. Like, what's that dude about? Like, that guy's probably on my level, but we don't really talk, like.
Kind of what Dustin was saying a little bit, I think, and I'm saying it too. It does really help to get involved in some kind of a sport or something, and because it does get you into that friend group. Like you end up having a friend group with the sports team or whatever, or dance or whatever it is, and that'll help a little bit.
Speaking of Christopher Hughes in the chat, honestly,
I mean, it's going to be awkward at first because you don't have any commonalities. But give it time.
Yeah.
Like I've even been.
They're going to want you to fix all their shit.
That's true too. That does it. But you could be a dick like me and just stop answering the text messages.
If that's the icebreaker. Like I'll
Mhm.
deal with it. I'll just fix it really bad and they'll stop calling me. I'm
There-
like, do you remember where these wires went? Because I don't remember. You were standing there too, right?
There's some though that like I've done that for where I've helped out friends and it's like, yeah, just rather not anyway.
Yeah.
I
Not
was,
unless they're like real family friends or something.
I know. Trust me, you regret it in the end after all the time.
Yeah, I just
do
feel
all the-
guilty, and then after I feel like crap because I didn't charge enough, and then
Right.
it's like I always have a hard time with that. So
I know, me too.
You know, like when you take your kid to a birthday party and sometimes you can tell they're like, yeah, just drop your kid off and come back. And I've done that before, but sometimes you kind of get the vibe like all the parents are sticking around. So I'm like, all right, so all the parents are sticking around on this one, so I'll stick around. And like I'm trying to talk to the dads about stuff, and they're just like they already got their own little clique, and I'm just kind of trying to infiltrate that clique. And they're talking about, you know, like guns and football and dumb shit that I know about. I'm like, hey, dude, like, you know, fucking, you know, let's talk about some shit, man. But
it's hard though to separate yourself from the work because you don't want to like bore the hell out of these other people with like HVAC stuff.
Mhm.
But my brain just lives and breathes HVAC crap, right? So sometimes it's hard for me to communicate with people. I can talk about music. That's one thing I can do. Speaking of that,
And movies.
and movies that I can do. I can relate to people about that. But we're cleaning out our bedroom right now because we're getting a new bedroom set and going through drawers. I've got an old iPod Touch, dude. This thing is so tiny. But then this isn't even the funny thing that I found. One of the original iPhones. Okay.
Mhm.
But just in comparison, like this thing's tiny, man.
What was the iPod Touch? Is that just like the music shuffler thingamajig?
Yeah, but it was the
That's true,
iPod where
Adolf.
you just had tons of music. I'm going to try to charge this because this actually has a lot of good music on it. And I want to go through the old albums and stuff.
What was Microsoft came out with?
The Zune?
Zoom. Yeah, I think it was Zoom.
Yeah.
Didn't last long.
No.
Let me just read this comment. I can't believe that kids spend $20,000 to go to UEA for HVAC when you can spend about 15 in books and classes at a community college for this same education.
Hey,
And he
you know
said
what?
another comment before.
It's
Yeah.
different.
And he said another comment before about the trades. And honestly, I was just talking to someone, a doctor the other day, and they see how much we're getting paid. They're like, oh my God, you're getting paid more than so-and-so I know, and so-and-so I know, and so-and-so I know. I go, yeah, the trades, electrician, refrigeration, plumbers, all getting paid this rate, around the same rate. I don't know why they're not forcing this more. Honestly, it's great. It's great money, and your so-and-so other friends are doing whatever in the office, whatever, getting paid shit.
Pay should come with a higher expected standard.
Yeah. But
Like as far as like,
kind of thought.
as far what I mean by that is like as far as like licensing and testing of some sort, like it's like anybody can just be an HVAC guy. They can wake up tomorrow and be like, hey, I'm an HVAC guy. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I guess
That's
you know.
there.
Well,
Over
like,
here, it's
In my
it's not
state,
like
that's
that.
a true statement. But in
Yes,
other
yeah.
areas, it's not. But I think like when people start like, oh, you're making as much as an engineer or whatever, and you didn't go to school for
Right.
that.
Right.
It's different. I mean, okay, so let's look at basic economics here. Is there a shortage of engineers? No. Is there a shortage of mechanics? Yes. So why do you pay your mechanic more? Because there's like 3 to choose from. And so you're worth more because there's less of you, and you're in a high demand.
Yeah.
And so that's why our trade kind of goes up and down. Now, what I don't understand is whenever somebody finds out the HVAC guy makes X amount of dollars, they're shocked, but they believe that the plumber deserves that amount of dollars. Not to throw any shade at any plumbers, but just how they value the trades differently.
I would even honestly say the way we value, this is going to seem kind of crazy, but like the way we value doctors, like doctors go to years and years of school. I get it. There's geniuses or super smart, but I mean, we also need to go to school for years and years and years to really be good at it.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, it's not called HVAC practice. What do you? All your kids have swords?
What the heck, man?
He just come in. He's like, we had a breakthrough discovery. All right, you got a sword on his hip. I'm down.
And a backpack?
It's so cute.
We like to get stuff done.
This is like the German Indiana Jones.
The German Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
let's see this loadout right now. What do we got?
What the
Jesus. Guys, don't visit him, okay,
Awesome.
guys?
That's normal.
That is awesome.
case? Where's the sunglasses and door?
Where's the towel you use to wipe off your fingerprints?
There it is.
What is
All
that?
right. We got a white belt and or a means of tying
Rope?
somebody up.
Rope is easier.
Yep,
Yeah.
for
Or
sure. Gotta tie up the
what are
wrist.
these big long zip ties?
Oh, just because you need to burn something, got it. Another knife, because you never just know when you need more. Flashlight, headlamp, got it.
This
Mhm.
is 100% what every kid should have in their backpack when they're hanging out and playing, because this is
What is
what
that?
much better than games.
I'm a good dad, I promise.
Good. Hey, I'd do the same thing,
You
bro.
need to teach your kid how to throw that hatchet. Like
Yep.
throw it.
We have throwing axes.
Posts or whatever.
I got a set of throwing knives. I love throwing knives for some reason. It's
There you go.
relaxing.
All right, y'all go. Don't kill each other.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
We're going to catch
Be
the
nice
Wendigo.
about it.
Make sure you run really fast with
You
that.
going to
load
catch a
out backpack.
goat or a ghost?
He wants to go catch the Wendigo.
The
It's a
Wendigo?
Native American cannibalistic deer looking thing.
Yeah, dude, that thing is terrifying.
Yeah.
Seen that? The Wendigo? The Wendigo?
And then a
Wendigo? What
sleeping bag just in case.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, just in case.
are you gonna do if you catch it?
Oh, kill it, tie it up, sell it for $50 trillion.
Huh?
There we go.
Bill, I wouldn't be mistaken if he thinks you're the Winnebago, whatever he said.
The Winnebago. Winnebago. There's a movie.
Here he is. It's
Yep.
Bill.
Don't hurt each other and have fun.
100%.
I won't hurt him. He might hurt me.
All right.
Oh,
say?
That's funny.
Put on some shoes.
He does have to. It's just.
All right.
Oh,
You
By
guys
the way,
getting hit? You guys getting hit at all, Dustin, by the weather?
No, we're getting this crazy thing that like we never get. It's like it's fall. It's like whenever as it's coming in, it's pulling that cycle down over us. So it's like it cooled off and it's dry and it's super weird. It'll be back to hot, wet nastiness tomorrow, I'm sure. But it was beautiful today.
I got banned
Yeah.
from live strip on YouTube for a week.
That's cool. What about you guys, Joe, Bill? You guys getting any of this weather yet?
Oh yeah, we're getting
nice weather here.
Yeah.
Beautiful here.
5 at night, 60-ish.
But you're not getting the rain though. You're not getting
Nope.
the rain from the hurricane or anything yet.
It's the rain tomorrow here.
Oh, okay.
It's been sunny.
What the
Here's a
hell?
topic. Can we get a crowdsource fund going on to build an open source collection of manual S expanded data, then sell that all the companies who needs it? The move is a linchpin.
Oh, good job with your camera there, Joe.
That's me?
It's you, yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
It's you.
What the fuck?
Astronaut sitting on a cloud.
Oh, it went off. You're
It's
right.
like
It
the
did go off.
Marshmallow Man or the Michelin Man.
Okay, Dustin, why don't you talk
He's
about that when I'm
drunk.
getting my friggin' camera back? There we go.
Yeah, so I mean, like me and Chris have talked about this. It's one of the like things that separates RightSoft from all the other load calculation guys is their ability to run equipment against Manual S to make sure it meets. No one else has access to it, and so as individuals doing load designs, you have to go in and you have to do like Manual S speed sheets, and all these different things. Basically, you got to go all the way back to the archaic way of doing stuff. And there's not like a source where you can go and just collect it all. Like RightSoft is the only people who have done it. And they're getting it from the manufacturers, which means that the manufacturer has all of the expanded performance data. It's readily available that they can just type in your conditions and pop it out, and they're not sharing it. Mostly because if you ever actually go and check the expended performance data of equipment,
It's gonna
equipment
suck.
sucks.
Yeah.
And it's not great for the other numbers, but me and Chris have talked about building a source for ManualS. House has developed some stuff for the people that understand the Apple side of the world. I wouldn't know because I'm like a caveman over here in Louisiana, or a swamp man in Louisiana with my good old fashioned Microsoft. But I've also been trying to personally collect manufacturers' data and build spreadsheets to make life simpler.
Sweet.
But that is a huge task, man.
That's a huge task, and
Yeah.
the amount of time involved every time they change something, having to update that information and archive the old stuff, and that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. But it sounds awesome, like having all that data though. Like, yeah, like everybody's saying, it's so difficult when they don't give you that, because then, but like you said, I mean, then that's, it's when you look into it, then they realize how shitty it is, so.
Right. Well, I mean, but then there's these other little backdoor avenues. So like, Amanda Dyke and Goodman has it. Carrier has it. I think Ream has it. Maybe even Linux has it, where there are these websites that you can like, you can't search for it. The distributor doesn't even know it exists that I've ever talked to. But you go to these sites and you can plug in your conditions, and it will just spit out what that equipment's going to give you at those conditions for your home.
Wow.
But had someone not shared it with me, or I stumbled across it, or whatever the case is, no one knows about that stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're doing it the hard way. So I know it's out there. Like Chris says, it's gotten worse to get. Once upon a time, it was fairly simple to get. Now it's behind paywalls, and
Yeah.
it's just a pain in the ass. But it needs to be readily available. That way you don't have to be an engineer or a computer geek to be able to find this stuff. No offense to engineers or computer geeks. I love you.
Mhm. We don't like to offend anybody on this show.
Right.
Never.
No, that's never happened.
I mean, I just kind of snuck in the show.
Yep. That's right. How'd you get a link? Adam give it to you?
You don't snitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adam did. Adam felt bad.
I would have given you one. I just didn't even think about it. That's awesome.
I know.
I was watching. I was like, I wonder.
Oh, really?
Well,
I
let's
reached out to them.
let's wrap this up. We all
Yeah.
got to get going. I got to get some food. I'm hungry out here.
Yeah.
It was awesome having you on, Dustin. We need to have you
Yeah.
again, especially when Adam comes back, whenever that may be. I don't know.
Someday.
Actually, yeah, you know what? Next time Adam's gone, or anybody, Dustin's could be one of the guys. Christopher, to just
Clive.
fill in. Michael, obviously.
We haven't had Clive in a long time too. So
Clive.
Clive on. Yeah.
The
Definitely.
5-6 fill-ins.
But this was awesome. Thanks, Dustin. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, guys. I'm gonna hit it. Let's we'll catch you guys next week, hopefully.